Home Care Residential Service Agency right here in Maryland. I'm in the office today doing some admin work. You can see paperwork and the computer all over. But I wanted to come on this afternoon while I have a few minutes while I'm in the office today, just to give you some tips on, what to look for in your non-medical home care if you're looking for your loved one, because we were not long ago. My grandma Nana, she passed away October 1st of 25, and I was one of her caregivers for about 3 or so years, and she lived with us for about 40 something days. I remember that. She was like, Kiva, get me out of here. I was like, okay, Nana, I will. So I did what I had to do. I researched, got her a hospital bed to come home. She got her oxygen tank transferred from her main home to my home. We got her a loaner rent from the county. We got her her wheelchair, her blood pressure cuff, like all those things. We worked hard to get those things, and so our agency knows what it takes to allow your loved one to remain at home independently. And I do believe that my grandma lived longer because she was around family and friends. We took her out on different meetups, and even when she wasn't in her best state of health, she pushed through. So our agency is licensed right here in Maryland, and what we focus on is providing care that is reliable, that advocates for seniors, because often from what we've seen, sometimes folks don't want to listen, right? So advocating and just being a reliable agency that shows up, that follows the care plan. So that's one of my tips today, is making sure that the agency is licensed, right? And that they follow the care plan. So if your loved one may have a wheelchair, or if a BiPAP machine for use for breathing, or if they have any other equipment, making sure that the agency knows how to use that, okay? All right, so when you're checking in, let me know where you're checking in from. We are licensed right here in Maryland, and we service a variety of areas: Anne Arundel, Howard, Prince George's, Montgomery, and surrounding areas as well. In Anne Arundel, Howard, I think I said that already. Anyways, so I wanted to come on just to share a little bit about my story and how, we were able to push through and take on the responsibility of being a caregiver, because I didn't even know, I was a caregiver, didn't even know what non-medical home care was until my Nana got really ill and her health took a turn. So we knew we needed some additional support. So there is two types of care, right? So one is home health care, and that requires a medical doctor's order, and there are certain requirements that need to be met in order for you to be approved with your insurance company. My grandma had Medicare. She didn't qualify for other programs, so we had to do the best that we could. All right, let me know where you're checking in from. So my grandma was not eligible for other programs, so she was approved through Medicare home health, right? Because she was disabled in so many different ways. She needed support in order to remain home, right? And she wanted to return home independently. So she did, in fact, go to rehab a few times only to get her stronger, but she made it very clear, Kiva, I am not staying here. I'm like, okay, Nana. So home health care requires a doctor's order, right? It's more of a skilled care. The nurse came in, the PT came in, the occupational therapist came in to check on her. So they only allow a limited amount of hours for non-medical home care. And what that meant is help my grandma with her meal prep, help or feeding her, help my grandmother with getting dressed, with bathing, right? With daily living activities, right? Transporting her to appointments. So they didn't cover that many hours, if not maybe 1 hour. So we knew we had to go to the next step. So I started researching agencies to take care of my grandmother, because I'm a mom of 4. I was working full-time at the time, and everyone was working, right? Cousins, whatever. So we looked up non-medical home care. And what that means is simply requires the family to make a decision if they want to invest in non-medical home care. And this allows, thanks for the hearts, guys, it allows your loved one to remain at home, right? And sometimes your life insurance can cover it, sometimes your health insurance, long term, and sometimes you may have to pay as a private pay, like my grandma did, because she didn't have other programs. So now that we know better, we have to do better, right? We have to be educated on those things. So, so we have home health, which is you have to have a doctor's order for that. You have to be has to get approved. And then non-medical home care, you simply can make a decision on if you want to invest in your loved one to remain home independently. So they can be, my grandma, she was happy. I got pictures and videos. She was just so happy to be home celebrating my teenager's birthday and loved one's birthday. She was just so excited. And I think I showed some videos with her when she was giving her little speech. And it just brings me so much joy knowing that, you know, we created this agency in honor of her legacy, right? She was resilient. She pushed through. She had so much, you know, what do you call it? So much strength, I guess you want to call it, right? So anyways, two types. You have to make a decision on which one that you want to pursue. We had both, and home health care coordinated with the non-medical home care, so they can coordinate and work through things. But hiring a non-medical home care agency was the best thing ever, because there were times, like I said, we couldn't be at all her appointments, so the caregiver simply called me, and I was there on the call. But even though I wasn't physically there, we were able to communicate, and get her her visit up to date and ask any questions that we wanted, right? So I want to let you know that if you've been looking for home care, that you are not alone. And sometimes it takes a while to find what you're looking for. We hired about 3 agencies, and we fired 2, right? Because it just wasn't a good fit. And my grandma, my nana knew it instantly that it was not a good fit. And what we experienced, I talk about a lot, is call outs, right? Not following the care plan, taking my grandma to places that were not on the care plan. So our agency is committed to following the care plan. And if the care plan needs to be updated, and the care plan just simply outlines what are the responsibilities for the agency to take care of your loved one, right? So if it's transport to appointments, we're only going to those appointments. We're not taking you to McDonald's. We're not taking you to, across town. It's only in town we do transport. So just being very clear, because we're not crossing any boundaries. It becomes a liability if we do not follow that care plan. So please make sure that your agency is following your care plan. What else? I think that's it. I want to come on really quick. It's been 7 minutes already. So anyways, if you're in the Maryland area, we do support families in the area. I mentioned earlier, we do support surrounding counties. So let me know in the comments down below, if you're looking for home care in Maryland, what has been some of your challenges, and I'll be sure to respond in the order in which they're received. I'm going to head out to go get my son because he is in physical therapy. And let's be clear. So home care, non-medical, is not only for seniors or older adults. It could be for anyone who needs support at home. He just texted me, he said he's done. Okay, so I mean, it's quick. So it could be for anyone who needs support. He had his ACL and meniscus torn, both meniscus torn. And he needed support to his visits. He was on crutches and so forth, right? So now he is getting better. They're really pleased with his progress. So now I'm gonna go pick him up, because this is still home care, so I can transport him back to his residence, right? Our residence, whatever you wanna call it. So anyways, have an amazing day. Please let me know if you're in the Maryland area, if you're looking for some support. Look out for community outreach. We're gonna be hosting a walk club for active older adults, or just adults in general, right? Just get involved, get into the community, and show up. So we're gonna be hosting that right here in Maryland. So like and subscribe and share. What else? That's pretty much it. I will see you guys on the next video. Have an amazing day, and don't forget to advocate for your family, your loved ones, especially your nana or your parents, because sometimes, from my experience, the medical staff does not listen. And I really won't get into what happened in her last hospital. I'm gonna wait, but they do not listen. And it is up for us. It is up to us to advocate. And last thing, we were so close to hiring an agency or caregiver to come in and check on my grandmother when she was at rehab for a short while, in September 25, and even at the hospital, right? When she was in DC, the hospital, because we knew that we couldn't be at 5 places at one time, right? So we were just so close of hiring a caregiver. And the caregiver responsibility was to just check on her, make sure she's eating, make sure she's getting what she needs, her treatment, her nebulizer, her BiPAP machine, all those things. So having said that, just advocate. My grandma was like, Kiva, thank you so much for always speaking up for me. Thank you for just taking care of me and taking time. Because it's not always easy, right? But when you hire a team, let's go. It's possible.